And the reason why Jesus was killed, the reason why he was crucified, was because there were religious leaders and political leaders of his time who had some things that they wanted. But they didn't have the power to get them as long as Jesus was in their way.
Yeah.
They had to get rid of him so they could get what they want and then leave the scraps for the rest. And so they did, not knowing that by doing that, they enabled Jesus, who was without sin, to rise from the dead and free everybody. So the very thing they were trying to defeat, they enabled by their action.
Make it good.
They tried to defeat Jesus' influence over people, his influence over the people they were trying to manipulate. And destroying, by killing him and by taking his life, they empowered him to free all of those people. Not just from their political reign, but from the demonic reign. And to bring healing through all of the Christians. So instead of just Jesus going around healing people, now there's thousands of these guys going around healing people in the first century. And not just Jesus going around healing people, but now there's millions of us guys nowadays who can go around and heal and deliver people. So the numbers are only going up at the time when the world is moving into chaos. So if somebody wants to know what the real answer to the problems that we're dealing with in society is, we'll say Jesus is the answer. But we don't mean it in some trite religious way. We don't mean it as just a slogan that goes on a bumper sticker or something that we speak out because we don't have anything better to say. We say that because we know it's true at the personal level, at the gut level inside of us, at the systemic level, historic level, because when truth actually arises, you can't cover it up. No matter how many spin doctors there are on the internet, when truth arises, there'll be no way to cover it up.
I know that.
So for us, as Christians, the answer is not bigger churches, although there's nothing wrong with that. The answer is not more religion or better behavior, although there's nothing wrong with that. The answer is the presence and power of God manifesting in the reality of our society so that people can see it and experience it. And that's not a matter of us just doing a bunch of good things. And again, we should do good things. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the reality that Jesus is alive, he's risen, and he still is doing stuff, manifesting in the world in such a way that what was broken is now healed, what was evil is now good, what was blind now has eyes to see, what was corrupted is now incorrupted, what was compartmentalized is now free. What was in chains is now free.
Change reality.
To change the literal reality at a personal level, at the social level, at the whole society, the level of our whole society.
Right.
That's what I mean when I say Jesus is the answer. And that's what I mean when I say what we need is revival. Not something that we dream up and stir up, but something that we open ourselves up to and allow the Lord to use us as instruments of his grace. Because without revival, the personal issues in people's lives aren't going to be changed. The society issues, we know the direction it's going. It's only getting worse. Without revival, without people coming to the truth and starting to collect themselves and their opinions and their ideas and their solutions around something that really is true, absolutely, unequivocally true, because it resonates with what was created in the first place. Until that happens, everything else is just a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's like, trying to grab onto a train that's riding by and dig your feet in the ground and think that, like when you did with your bicycles when you were a kid, you're somehow going to stop it. We can get 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people dragging their heels, and what we're going to do is get sore heels. And maybe we'll slow the train down a little bit, but it's still on the track heading for a disaster. But when Jesus comes and says, train, stop.
Yep.
Reality changes. everything changes. And then all the people around it have to make a decision. Am I for him or am I against him?
That's right.
Just like they had to do in the first century. So that's what we're after. And when we talk to people about these issues, about the society issues and about their personal issues, we're not doing it to depress them. We're not doing it even to convict them of sin. We'll let the Holy Spirit do that. We're doing it to talk about what's real, what's observable, what will resonate in their souls as they hear it, so that they might be open to at least consider the alternative. And the alternative is not prosperity and bags full of money and a new Mercedes, even though you might get that. That's not the alternative. The alternative is reconciliation of the whole creation back to God, so that his intention and his destiny for every piece of it, every tree, every rock, every blade of grass, every drop of water, and every person, that his idea of what that destiny should be, what he created them to be, will come into fruition and be real. So when we get saved, when the world starts following Jesus, the environment will be healed, the planet will be healed, the universe will be healed. And it won't be resonating with what we say because we say it's positive. It'll be resonating with what we say because what we say is what we hear the Father say. And the universe obeys what the Father says.